Get engaged.
Yeah.
He said my fiance in that scene. We didn't see an engagement, did we? And then he didn't want to move her in the house with him. Like he's like, I'm gonna move her in, but not until we get married. Your boy is all over the place. He is a narcissist. He's a liar, in my opinion. That's a toxic.
Would you like to add anything to that?
I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally it's a thing. Like that would be like Claudia saying like, oh, okay, tomorrow is Tuesday type shit. Ain't nothing for me to say because we all know tomorrow is Tuesday. So like,
I mean, was he doing it for our sake? I was like, wait, now you claiming her?
I haven't seen any engagement photos. I think it's one of those things where that's just a name this is honestly my opinion. I think it's a name you throw around nowadays. I think a lot of people say, yeah, there's a lot of people who use that.
Carlos Lamone.
That means y'all gonna get married.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No. I agree with you, Dustin. What I'm saying, no. Let me clear what I'm saying. When people throw around the word fiance, I agree with Dustin that they're saying that because they want to get married. I was just saying that it doesn't mean they have an official engagement. That's what I was saying.
I don't think
it's good though. Who in the hell will call somebody a fiance you ain't proposed to?
He don't want to get married.
Okay, y'all heard what they...
Fans are really starting to question why Carlos is always protecting Martell Holt, and it has become one of the hottest topics lately. The conversations online are filled with comments, reactions, and different opinions about why Carlos does not say anything negative when Martell is the subject. Every time Martell comes up in discussions, people notice how Carlos stays quiet, how he avoids saying anything too harsh, and how he seems to defend him without directly defending him. This situation has left fans wondering if there is more going on behind the scenes or if it is simply Carlos doing what he thinks is best for the show and for his job. Recently, Carlos sat down with Claudia and Dustin to discuss Martell, and during the conversation, Ariane was mentioned. Mozo had referred to Ariane as the fiancé, which raised eyebrows because fans could not remember seeing any official engagement announcement. In fact, many viewers were confused because Martell himself has been inconsistent in how he describes his relationship with Ariane. One moment he calls her a friend, the next moment she is his girl, and then suddenly she is referred to as a fiancé. This back and forth has created a lot of confusion and frustration among viewers who are tired of the unclear stories and the way Martell tries to paint his relationships in ways that do not always match reality. When the conversation about Martell's so-called engagement came up, Claudia immediately reacted by pointing out that she did not remember seeing any engagement take place. She mentioned that Martell called Ariane his fiancé, but the audience never saw a proposal, an engagement party, or even an announcement that would normally come with such a title. Claudia went further by calling Martell a narcissist and a liar, which is something a lot of fans have said about him as well. She added that his behavior is toxic, and many agreed with her point of view because Martell's actions over the years have shown a pattern of dishonesty and manipulation. While Claudia was saying all of this, fans noticed Carlos's face. His reaction stood out because when Martell was being called a narcissist, Carlos did not look comfortable. Some people felt that his facial expressions revealed that he did not want to co-sign that statement. He seemed tense, as if he wanted to avoid agreeing with Claudia or going too far against Martell. This made fans even more curious, because it looked like Carlos was holding back his true thoughts. If Martell had been anyone else, many believe Carlos would have had a lot to say, but since it was Martell, Carlos kept his words short and careful. Dustin also joined the conversation, explaining that nowadays people throw the word fiancé around without really meaning it. He said that a lot of people use the title loosely without having an actual engagement or proposal behind it. Carlos agreed with Dustin on that point, saying that just because Martell called Ariane his fiancé did not mean there had been an official engagement. Carlos tried to clarify that he was not saying Martell and Ariane were truly engaged, but only that some people use the term without the traditional steps. But the way Carlos handled this also left people with questions. Fans felt like he was doing damage control for Martell, trying to soften the confusion and cover up Martell's inconsistency. Claudia pushed back, questioning who would call someone a fiancé without proposing to them. She reminded the group that Martell has never shown any serious steps toward marrying Ariane, and that calling her a fiancé without the actions to back it up was misleading.
Claudia's comments reflected the way many fans feel, because the audience has been watching Martell for years and has not seen any signs of commitment.
Yet Carlos seemed unwilling to call Martell out directly, which only fueled the idea that he protects him. After the discussion aired, fans flooded the comment sections with their thoughts. One viewer wrote that Martell will regret cheating and having a child outside of his marriage because it destroyed his reputation. Another fan said Carlos is always quiet when it comes to Martell, and that he never really says anything negative about him. Others joined in, pointing out that Carlos acts like he is afraid to speak badly about Martell, and that his silence is suspicious. Some even said Carlos's favoritism is clear because he puts other cast members on the spot but gives Martell a free pass. One particular comment stood out because it said, "Why is Carlos so tight-lipped when it comes to Martell?" That question has been repeated many times by fans. People cannot understand why Carlos, who usually has a lot to say and is very outspoken, becomes silent whenever Martell is the subject. Whether it is about Martell's cheating, his behavior with Ariane, or his issues with Melody, Carlos always seems to play it safe. He rarely criticizes Martell the way he does with other cast members, and that has not gone unnoticed. Fans have compared the way Carlos handles Martell to the way he talks about Letitia and Marceau. Some believe Carlos praises them openly while being quick to call out others. This selective approach has created a sense of bias, and many people believe it hurts the balance of the show. If one person is always protected, then the drama and discussions lose their fairness. The audience wants to feel like everyone is held accountable, not just some people. When Carlos finally responded to the claims that he was protecting Martell, he gave an explanation that raised even more questions. He said that maybe people feel like he is quiet about Martell because he saves his commentary for the reunion shows, where he is paid to host. According to Carlos, he prefers to hold back during casual conversations and let his opinions come out when he is officially doing his job. But not everyone accepted this answer. Many fans argued that Carlos has no problem speaking freely about other cast members during interviews and YouTube conversations, so why is Martell the exception? This defense only added fuel to the fire because it looked like Carlos was trying to explain his silence without really addressing the favoritism. Fans want to see the same level of accountability for Martell as they see for Melody, Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, and others. But instead, it feels like Carlos tiptoes around Martell while being much harder on the rest of the cast. This double standard is frustrating, especially because Martell has been at the center of some of the biggest scandals on the show. The frustration is not just about the way Carlos speaks, but also about how he reacts. People notice that his facial expressions, his tone, and even his body language shift whenever Martell is involved. He laughs off certain things, changes the subject, or gives very short answers that avoid the deeper issues. When Claudia said Martell was a narcissist, Carlos's face said it all. He looked uncomfortable and unwilling to agree. Even though the majority of the audience already shares that opinion, this behavior has sparked countless theories. Some fans believe Carlos and Martell have a close friendship that makes Carlos protective of him. Others think Carlos sees Martell as essential to the success of the show, so he avoids putting him in a bad light. There are also those who feel Carlos simply does not want to burn bridges with Martell, because Martell's storylines bring in views and attention. No matter what the reason is, people are noticing the pattern and calling it out. The bigger issue is that this favoritism can impact the way the show is received. Reality television relies on transparency, conflict, and accountability. When one person is shielded, the drama starts to feel unbalanced. Fans want to see everyone called out equally, whether they are right or wrong. If Martell is allowed to avoid tough questions and criticism, then the audience begins to lose trust in the fairness of the storytelling. Many viewers also pointed out that Martell has been given multiple chances to explain himself, yet he never truly takes accountability. Instead, he blames others, shifts the narrative, or plays the victim. By not challenging him directly, Carlos contributes to this cycle. Instead of being forced to face his mistakes, Martell is often allowed to skate by with excuses. This is why fans are so frustrated, because they feel Martell is never held to the same standard as the rest of the cast. The conversation around Martell's supposed engagement to Ariane is the perfect example of this. Instead of saying clearly that Martell was misleading by calling her a fiancé without proposing, Carlos tried to explain it away by saying people use the word loosely. But this is exactly the kind of situation where fans expect Carlos to step in and hold Martell accountable. Instead, he danced around it, leaving Claudia and Dustin to do the heavy lifting while he sat back and kept his words minimal. As the discussions continue online, it is clear that fans are paying close attention to Carlos's actions. They are noticing every moment he avoids criticizing Martell, every time he looks uncomfortable, and every instance where he chooses silence. This has become a major topic of debate, and unless Carlos addresses it more directly, the speculation will only grow. At the end of the day, the fans want fairness. They want to feel like everyone on the show is treated the same and that no one gets a special pass. Martell has made many mistakes, and those mistakes deserve to be talked about openly. Protecting him only makes things worse, because it creates the impression that he is above accountability. Whether Carlos realizes it or not, his silence is sending a strong message, and the audience is not ignoring it.